Hi, welcome to another episode of Nonfiction Bedtime Stories. I am Dr. Kimberly R Mascaro of ConsciousChimera.com. And today I want to tell you about a book called The Art of Transforming Nightmares by Claire Johnson. I'll show you the title here. You can see it. I also have it all marked up. Another really great book. Claire Johnson has several books on dreams and specifically lucid dreaming. So her website, deepluciddreaming.com, is definitely worth checking out, not just for her books and blogs, but also she offers retreats on these topics. So for this video, I just will share, like I always do, a little bit about the book. And Claire's books, or Dr. Johnson, I should say, her books always contain many practices. So while you have chapters in this book from, understanding symbolic language of dreams and healing and transformation that can come out of nightmares, sleep paralysis, and even kind of spiritual nightmares, traumatic nightmares, a wide variety of topics, she includes many practices, and this particular book has 45 of them. So The Art of Transforming Nightmares contains 45 different practices that you can engage in to help you understand your dreams, transform your nightmares, and even bring on some lucidity. So there are two practices that I of course was really happy to see, because Dr. Johnson and I share some loves, let's say, and that is not just dreaming but also yoga nidra. And in this book she talks a little bit about that practice, and it's practice number 41 on page 233. You can find it if you have this book. There is a section on yoga nidra, balance between the worlds. And that's a really wonderful practice. Yoga Nidra is a sleep-based meditation, and it can be very helpful to those of us who like to use meditation to support dreaming and just understand our inner worlds, at a deeper level. She also talks about, or has a practice number 45, called Drumming Journey, Create Your Own Spiritual Dreams, on page 260. And I thought that practice was really cool, as I'm a shamanic practitioner myself, and so it was nice to see that included in this book. But there's some also real basic practices. For example, just keeping like a dream journal, or here, practice number 2, keep a nightmare journal. You can find that on page 21 of this book. And so from kind of basic, more introductory practices all the way to some more advanced practices can be found here. This book, though, is chock full of information. And so if you're a nightmare sufferer, this would be a really great resource. And it's important that you know that nightmares can be healing. We can transform them. We can learn what they're trying to tell us. And many times they're trying to tell us about changes we need to make in our day-to-day waking life. I also was going to share a little bit about the symbolic language of nightmares. That's a section she has on page 43. And this kind of is to the point that I was just speaking of. I'm going to just read a few lines here. She writes, "The true gift of a nightmare often lies hidden underneath some pretty nasty wrapping paper. Imagery of people getting shot, abandoned babies, or plane crashes can make us feel we'd rather not get involved with this dream at all. It's worth it, though, I promise. In order to unwrap this gift, we need to become familiar with the symbolic nature of not only the dream images themselves, but also the actions that occur. For example," she writes, "a dream of driving a car depends not only on the nature of the car, is it battered, is it brand new, but also the way the car is being driven, wildly, with confidence, and by whom? You? Your dead mother? And with what degree of success? Is this a smooth and easy ride, or have the brakes failed? In the case of you, the dreamer, driving a car fast and the brakes failing, this might indicate that you are being reckless in the area of your life, driving yourself too hard, or racing so fast that although you need to slow down, you cannot stop. Now she continues on, about the dream being a warning, and this is really, really important, because when we record our dreams or write them down or even put them in a voice recorder, it's important that we get all those details. So if you're new to recording your dreams, remember to get every detail you can, especially how you felt when you woke up, as well as colors, and maybe you even want to title the dream. Just kind of make up a quick title. Don't think about it too much. But get all of those details, and then you can return and look at it later. But first, you don't want to censor anything. Just get as much detail as you can. And I wanted to share that particular example because I found that when it was time for me to make some really big changes in my life, I was having lots of dreams where I was driving, but I would be either parking and reversing and then parking again, packing and packing, or repacking and unpacking, parking, and again, in cars that were overheating and things like that. At that time in my life, I knew I was tired from kind of some traveling and distance. I was working in 2 different cities that were quite a distance away from my home, but that sometimes involved me spending the night somewhere. So I was packing and repacking. But seeing me doing this repetitive, almost unconscious behavior in the dream, as well as my car itself that I was driving overheating, and it was the car I drove in the waking state, that just told me a lot, and it helped me make changes sooner than I probably would have, because the dreams kept coming at me, reminding me that I really needed to make some shifts, and I'm so glad I did. But that's all I'll share for you today. And wish you sweet dreams, and thanks for tuning in to another episode of Nonfiction Bedtime Stories. Again, you can find me at consciouschimera.com. Bye-bye.